Hey everybody, welcome to the Mess Hall. This is the show where we stir, sear, and saute some amazing dishes whipped up by our guest, veteran chefs. Today, a 5-star show for you because in the kitchen, United States Army veteran Sergeant Christine Zecker, who's also a classically trained chef, and she's going to be whipping up her exquisite salmon dish. You don't want to miss it. We've also got Christy's fun food facts, our Tito's Handmade Vodka drink of the day, and a very, very special mail call segment in honor of Sergeant Christine Zecker. And the best thing about it is, it's all coming up right here on the Mess Hall, brought to you by our great friends at the Proprietors Lodge of Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Christine Zecker in the kitchen. It's an extreme pleasure right now, folks, to welcome my guest veteran chef today, Sergeant Christine Zecker, United States Army, and we've just elevated this show like 5 notches. Wonderful to see you, my friend.
Great to see you too, Wayne.
Thank you so much for being here today. I tell you what, I'm so excited about this because I have a little culinary background too, so maybe I can learn a little something from you and you learn a little something from me.
I don't know, I mean, this is a cooking show, but where's the knife?
That's actually not my department.
Well,
so.
I happen to have one.
There you go.
Handy.
Just don't use it on me.
No, I've pre-cut these things because I've kind of heard a little rumor that you might not be very safe with a knife. So today we're going to make one of my favorite summer dishes, which really highlights the season, pesto salmon and pepiote. And pepiote means essentially in paper.
Parlez-vous français?
Un peu. So we're going to start out with having Wayne do some scissor cutting. You cannot run with them. Do not run with the scissors.
Okay. I love but by the way, I love the presentation here.
Well, thank you.
I can tell you're a classically trained chef because everything looks so elegant. It's what we're all about here on the Mess Hall. Presentation.
Well, this dish it's a hit for families. It's super healthy. It's a steaming method. A, B, no cleanup. This goes in the trash. You can also use foil. So if you don't have parchment paper, you can use foil. All your fresh produce from the garden, which is coming out right now. And then pesto, it's one of the most versatile Italian sauces from Genoa, which is up in the north of Italy. Absolutely beautiful dish. You can put it in chicken, you can put it on pasta, you can put it in pepiote with some nice fresh salmon. And I'm gonna teach you how to make some too.
Beautiful,
All right.
I'm in.
The first thing that we're gonna do is we are gonna cut a very large heart, just like you did in grade school.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
It's only a couple of years ago.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna start to put in our ingredients into the blender for our pesto. You can use spinach, you can use parsley, you can use basil as I'm using today. You can use a wide variety of nuts, which you can use pistachio, you can use pine nuts, you can use walnuts. That's not a heart, Wayne.
It's an oval.
That's an oval, so we know we can fix it though. Wait.
Okay. Good. It's wonderful to be working with talent.
See, look at how fancy we are.
Oh yes. Look at that technique.
I know. This thing is fighting me. You want to fight?
That's right.
All right. So here we go. We have a heart.
There we go.
We're going to add some fresh basil leaves. Just pour them unceremoniously right into the blender. Now, if you want to kick it old school, you can also do a mortar and pestle, which I like to do sometimes. It's a little bit more hands-on, and it gives it a little bit more of a rustic texture.
What is it again? What was it?
A mortar and pestle.
Okay.
So it's essentially a little dish with some abrasion in it, and you just kind of work it in. And I'm going to move you over just a little so I can.
Okay, you get your stuff in there. Yeah.
My ingredients.
I'm making a mess in here. That's all right.
Wayne.
Just bear with me, Teach. Bear with me.
So I put in my my basil leaves, some nice fresh Parmesan or Romano cheese.
And that's just, you don't measure, you just put it into...
Nope, this is not a fussy. We're not baking. If we're baking, we're measuring. If we're cooking, a little bit of garlic.
Oh yeah, love garlic.
And like I said, you can also use a variety of nuts and a variety of herbs. I've made parsley pesto. You can make a spinach pesto. Today we're using pine nuts, which come from a pine tree, actually.
Really?
And they have a nicer We have a nicer oil content. You don't want to do almonds because it's going to get very, it's going to be too al dente. It doesn't have enough oil. The great thing about the sauce too is you can just keep it in the fridge. If you have some pasta, you can just toss it up. It's an easy meal for the kids. It's really nice.
It's that time again, folks. Let's check in with Christy for our fun food facts.
Thanks, Wayno. Our fun food fact today is brought to you by our friends at Soldier On. Check this out. The first TV dinners were actually for bomber crews on long overseas flights during World War II. They were invented by an armed forces contractor which froze meat, vegetables, and potatoes in a tray. The microwave, also a military invention, came later to heat these up quickly. And that is our fun food fact for today.
You want to press the button?
Who, me?
Come,
Oh.
yeah, you.
Can I? Where is it?
So do you have any culinary experience, Wayne?
Oh, I mean, does 50 pounds of flour make a big biscuit? Of course. Years of it.
Well, we're going to put them to work here with the RoboCoupe.
Now, do we have to put something on top of that? No?
Nah, it's called
Okay.
our hand.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yep. That's right up.
Huh?
We're going to pulse it. We're going to pulse it.
Okay. I used to work in a fish market. You know, I know my fish.
Oh, yeah? Tell me.
Especially for a dish like this.
All right.
Yep.
So again, really lovely on fish, on veg. We'll have some leftover vegetables today too, so we'll cook those up.
Awesome.
So you ready to assemble?
Yes. Go
But
ahead.
I need the fish. We got to go get the fish.
And away we go. Man, this is going to be so good.
Oh, Wayne, not that fish.
Oh,
Oh, not that fish.
Oh.
Yeah, our fish is right there.
right there. Sorry. Okay.
Almost
Let me put
bit
this-
you.
Let me
It
see.
almost bit you.
Jeez.
I'm going to have you cut up a zucchini for us.
Okay.
And we're going to do them in some nice planks. So when we are assembling our empepio, these are going to be the base or the socle on the bottom, kind of lifting the salmon off the bottom of the paper.
Now, do we like to? There's a technique I used to. It's called chiffonade. Okay, it's very, very, very important. You know what that is, right?
Except you do that with basil.
Oh, okay. So we're going to cut this way, correct?
Awesome.
Okay, see that? Now,
Then in half.
and in half again. Technique. And technique. Okay, little Magic Johnson cut, folks. Looking away.
That is some good zucchini cut in there.
It really is.
So we're gonna put 3 here. I'm gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna have you do the next one. You know, you can do this with a wide variety of flaky fish and or shellfish. I would not use it with calamari. It'll become little rubber bands. But definitely shrimp, scallops. I often will put this on top as well. So now we're gonna take our pesto and we're gonna smear. That is the technical term, smear. Pesto is very good for you. It's got lots of chlorophyll, and actually garlic is incredibly healthy for you, and olive oil also. I don't cook with any trans fats, so no canola oil, no corn oils. So we're just building a little package.
Yeah, that looks so good. And the presentation, too, it's very, very good.
Well, thank you.
Very nice.
Well, the great thing is too is that no cleanup. This is considered a very, very healthy cooking method. It's steaming essentially. So we just put a little knob of butter on there to richen it up. And can I have that little glass of vino?
Oh, is this a little glass of
That's
vino?
what that is.
Okay. Ah.
So we're just going to pour just a few drops because we don't want it to get too wet.
And what does that bring out in the flavor?
So what this is going to be is a beautiful sauce. It's going to create its own sauce.
Okay.
Everything will be all in one little packet.
Good wine.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to start at the pointy tip of the heart, and we're going to start making small folds, very tight.
I was going to ask you about the technique on that. Yep.
Yep, so we're going to go very tight right around the circumference of the packet, and this is going to create a airtight seal, and it's going to steam in there. And about 10 minutes, it will be a perfectly encapsulated dish. Now, this can really elevate a dinner party. You can do these ahead without the wine in it. So what you wind up with is a beautiful little packet.
That looks nice. Let's hold that up here.
And you
Looks
just
awesome,
literally
doesn't
we're gonna put this right on the sheet pan. It's gonna go right in the oven for about 10 minutes, and then we'll have a beautiful meal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 3 little slabs of zouk.
it? 2, 3,
So, and then we're gonna take our fish, we're gonna lay that right on top.
right on top. And folks, you always want to take the fish right here. You never grab it like this. It's always, am I correct? Yeah. And we're going to smear
Schmear,
the pesto.
schmearing.
Okay?
Don't be
Don't be shy with the
don't
pesto.
be shy with the pesto.
Okay.
So then we're going to take 3 shrimp.
Slow motion?
Or are you going to do the Salt Bay?
Huh? The Salt Bay?
The Salt Bay.
Boom!
See, there you go.
Wow, awesome. You know, it's really great to work with a professional. Really, really, really.
Professional.
Professional chef. And
I have one?
I hope you appreciate it. Okay, we're going to take.
I just got hooked on a thing. Hooked on a feeling.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of the mess hall and Christine Zecker's phenomenal salmon. You okay?
Yep, I just pulled off my mic.
Thanks, Wayno. Our segment today is sponsored by our good friends at Tito's Handmade Vodka. We're going to be mixing up a delicious cocktail, so grab your shaker and let's get started. And here's Tito's Executive Mimosa. 2 ounces of Tito's Handmade Vodka, 0.5 ounces of orange juice, 0.75 ounces of Cointreau or any orange-flavored liqueur, and fill the rest with Prosecco. And voila, there is Tito's Executive Mimosa.
There's a couple different ways that we can do this. You can leave it in the paper and plate with the paper, or you can slip it out and actually plate it. Which would you prefer, Wayne?
I prefer to eat it, so let's just.
Okay, well let's just get in.
Yeah, we're not worrying about presentation here right now because this looks so good.
So there is our.
Oh, hold on, we got the hyenas. We got to keep our mess hall staff, Ryan and our
Kyle.
staff and Kyle. Got to keep them at bay. Now that really looks unbelievable. I got to tell you.
And the shrimp are cooked perfectly.
Oh, they are. The pesto going in for some salmon.
Came out perfect.
Oh, spot on, kid. What a great job. We're going to come back with more of the mess hall right after this.
Hi, this is Lenny Clark, and I'd like to say a big hello to a veteran, Christine Zecker. She's done an amazing job protecting our country in the United States Army, and she's a sergeant. So Sergeant Zecker, you're the greatest. Thanks for everything you do.
Now, Christine, you enjoy a wonderful career in the United States Army from 1989 to 1998. Mm-hmm. You attain the rank of sergeant. Mm-hmm. You enlist on Halloween night.
My mother's birthday.
Your mom's birthday. You do your basic at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. The country was on the verge of war. You're a platoon leader.
Yep. In
basic, describe what that was like, the intensity, I mean, ambivalence, certainty.
It was really scary because most of these young women were born at the tail end of the last war, which was Vietnam, and including myself. And people were very fearful. We were on lockdown. We weren't allowed to do really anything. Christmas got canceled. So there was a lot of mental health breakdowns. A lot of people went AWOL.
Your first assignment brings you to Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas, then on to Lackland Air Force Base at the Audie Murphy Veterans Hospital. Now, you worked in the psychiatric unit.
Yes.
You saw a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, we did. Active duty folks are there sometimes for substance abuse, so you're mostly dealing with family members of service members. One in particular, we thought he was fibbing. He was telling us that he had embezzled all this money from the government, that he knew the president, that all this crazy stuff, and we're taught to not encourage we call it confabulating, and he went to a meeting and an AA meeting within the building. And when he came back, the feds were there to actually take him away. He had actually embezzled all the money, did know the president, and was, So it was truth stranger than fiction.
On the flip side of that story now, you had a very, very powerful moment with, I believe, a Vietnam veteran. Describe that, what that was like for you.
So I was maybe a private E2 at the time, working on the psych unit with my best friend Amy, and we had a gentleman from New Hampshire all the way in Texas, and he had been a tunnel rat. And what that is in Vietnam, Viet Cong would dig tunnels with all kinds of booby traps and vermin and snakes and spikes, and terrifying really. And the smaller guys, it would be their job to
Go in the tunnel.
go in the tunnel. And you really can't come out of something like that and be the same person that you were before. He was smoking pot in our arboretum, our outside courtyard area, and brandished a razor blade, to which he threatened to hurt himself. And my co-soldier and I talked him out of it and got the razor blade from him. And it was definitely above our pay grade. We use that term pay grade. This was definitely above our pay grade.
Sure.
And but he was safe, and we got a big tongue lashing from our drill sergeant.
Probably saved the guy's life, and
Yep.
wow, it's a wonderful story, and it's so happy that it had a good ending,
Yeah,
as opposed
agreed.
to it could have been a tragic ending. I asked you before if you were ever afraid in service, and you didn't even bat an eye. You said most definitely, and I quote you as saying, "I could fire an M16, I could throw a grenade, but."
I could shoot an AT-4 light anti-tank weapon, an M60 machine gun, but rappelling off a 60-foot tower, nope. That's a no thank you. So I almost didn't graduate basic training because of that. I was platoon guide from the entire time. The drill sergeant literally had to push me off the 60-foot Victory Tower, which still is, I believe, in Columbia, South Carolina at Fort Jackson. Wow. I did it.
What was the most terrifying part of your job in service?
Seeing the damage that was done, to the soldiers, and how terrifying that can be internally for them, and how it really disrupts their lives and their families. That's terrifying, and how they were treated when they came back is terrifying. And we must always remember, and never have that happen again.
There's an old saying that not only the soldier suffers, but the family does as well. You shared a wonderful story with me about the holidays, and how your mom and dad used to go, and your mom would cut out clippings and send them to you. Your dad would walk around your town and take pictures and send them to you. What were the holidays like for you?
Well, I was doing kitchen patrol, we call KP duty, on Christmas Eve, and it was with me and my whole squad from my platoon, and I was washing pots as big as our host here today. They were huge; you're lost in them, and
But they were thin, though.
But it was hard because spirits were very down. We were all supposed to go home for Christmas, and the ground war had broken out, and we couldn't go home. So I started singing cadence. I remember this very distinctly. I started singing cadence in the sink. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of our little songs that we sang while marching,
Yep.
and just to kind of lift the spirits a little bit. And then we got a nice dinner, the next day. Christmas Day, I was sitting on call it a CTA, a covered training area, and the bunks are up above us, and I was sitting and I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was sad, and I was upset. It was Christmas Day, and a 4-star general walked into the covered training area. Well, with protocol, you snap up to the position of attention, you scream at the top of your lungs, "Everyone, attention!" And you go to the position of attention. And then you salute him. And he, "At ease, soldier. Where are you from?" "Auburn, Massachusetts, sir." And he wanted to hear about my family and wish me a Merry Christmas. And, he wasn't at his table either. He wasn't with his family either. He was on base with us.
Wow, what a powerful story. Powerful. You still have a very close relationship with people you serve with in your unit, right?
Yep, I do. Yep. I have my dear friend Ron Jones, who is my NCOIC, who is one of my mentors. He comes to stay with me and my family, my children, every time he's in town. And I talk, through social media with all my even people right down from basic training. And all my unit members from Boston, from the 883rd Medco, we're all still in contact, and it's really great. We had a reunion about, 8 years ago at Hanscom Air Force Base, and it was just awesome to see everybody.
What did your service personally mean to Sergeant Christine Zecker, United States Army?
I'm very, very patriotic. Not only I love my community and I love our country. It was my greatest honor, next to being a mom, is serving our country. I regret not having done 20. I did 8, but it was some of the most proud moments that I had in my life, that I am most proud of, aside from being a mom.
Well, I'm so proud to have you on the mess hall today. Thank you.
I'm so appreciative of being here, Wayne.
Thank you so much for just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful meal, great conversation. And I will say this, that I featured you in my syndicated column that I do on Rally Point, and still you're approaching 100,000 views. Unbelievable. So,
wow.
Wishing you all the best, and thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it very much.
Well, folks, that's our show. We hope you enjoyed it today. Many thanks to my special guest, Sergeant Christine Zecker, United States Army, for an absolutely amazing salmon dish, as well as just an unbelievable interview. I'd also like to thank the general manager here at the Proprietors Lodge, Candace Lyon, my main man, Jason Stump at Soldier On, and a special shout out today goes out to Sergeant Barry Funfar, United States Marine Corps, who served his country in the Vietnam War, flying 127 missions as a door gunner. For our great staff here at the mess hall, I'm Wayne Soares. Make it a great day.